Hey everyone, my name's Jonesy. Welcome back to my pool room. Today we're going to be doing a what's in the case video. When I was first getting into pool, I always enjoyed those Sam Dieppe what's in the case videos. I always enjoyed seeing what the pros and even amateurs like to shoot with, what their cases were, their chalk, all their little gizmos and gadgets. More importantly, I really liked hearing about why they played with those things and what led them to have the things that they did. I always found that very interesting. I'm far from a professional, but I am very passionate about the game, and I've owned and sold probably a countless amount of cues and cases and stuff over the years because I'm always willing to try new things. When there's some sort of new technology or whatever that's out there, I'm the type of guy that likes to go and try it. So my setup has changed quite a bit from year to year, and I have settled on a few things, but I'm always open to try new things. I'm also a tinkerer, so if I see something out there, it's like, oh man, I could do this or that with that thing, make it unique. I'll do that too. So I have a couple of things in my setup that I'd be willing to bet not many people have ever seen before. Today I'm going to go ahead and show you almost everything that's in my current collection. And for anyone who comes over for challenge matches, be ready to do the same. I think we're going to go ahead and call this my 2024 setup. Like I said, I try new things constantly, so I think I might do this again around the same time next year, and we'll see, what's changed, what's new, all that stuff, just to kind of document the changes. So anyway, I think that's about it. I'm going to take you over there and show you what's in my case. All right, I will do my best here. Let's start with the case. This is my JB custom case. It's very similar to some of the ones that they have ready-made. However, I did adjust the pocket sizes a little bit, and I had them remove the pocket sleeve thing because I keep everything up in the main compartment. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. My main playing cue is an OB Spartan. I really love this cue. I love the points. I just think it's a really classic looking, classy cue. The shaft I have on there is a Spartan. It's a 12.25 millimeter with about a 16-inch pro taper. I love the longer the taper, or as far back as the taper can be, the better for me. The tip, like I said, is a 12.25. I play with a Carbon Fiber tip. Absolutely love it. Also, a friend of mine, Larry Gates, I had him put a phenolic ferrule on it, mostly for looks, but I also just really like the hit. Now, how I came to acquire that cue is a pretty awesome story. I was driving from one tournament to another one year. I was driving through Northern California, and I came across this pool hall that was actually closing down, and they had a pro shop that had a bunch of discounted cues, which included this one, and that cue was marked at $100. Which, if you know anything about OB, that's a killer deal. I even asked them, just like, hey, I don't know if the tag on this is, misplaced, but they said, nope, we just need to get rid of everything. So I wish I had more money on me at the time. I would have probably bought everything that they had in that place. Next, I have my jump cue. It's a Predator Air Rush. I really love it. It makes jumps seamless and easy, and it does a lot of the work for you. It is a jump cue, but I use it as a break cue as well. I actually 3D printed, everybody's seen an extension before, but this is one that I specifically made for my jump cue. This is the bumper that was on the bottom of that, and I just put a Predator extension into there, put a pin into this. That was, and now it's long enough that I use it as my break cue as well. The main cue that I play with at home, this is the one I keep on my table, is this. It's a McDermott. I can't remember the the model number, but I absolutely love this cue. I think it's beautiful and it plays really nice. Most McDermott's have a 3/8 by 10 pin, but this one was custom made with a radial pin. So this is my one radial cue, and I love it a lot. It's actually my favorite pin, but it's the only one I have. It is, I think, a 12 millimeter tip with a, can't remember the tip. I want to say it's a Kamui, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't switched it since I bought that cue from someone on eBay. Next, I have another McDermott. This is one of their cues of the month, and I just got it because I love sharks, and I love all these little sharks in the cue. They're laser engraved in, so you can actually kind of feel them, and I think it goes so well on the blue stain. I just love this cue. It's more than anything, I just bought it because I wanted to collect it. It's, you know, I rarely actually play with it, unfortunately. Next, another cue that I keep at the house is this right here. This this is actually a pea shower jump, and that's the shaft for it. However, another good friend of mine, Don Gifford, who doesn't do it anymore, but he was an amazing cue maker. He made this handle for me because I like long handle jump cues, and you can see there how much longer that is. It jumps fantastic, and I love it a lot. All right, on to accessories. So this is a Q-Tech glove. I really don't wear gloves, but you know, every once in a while you come across a place that's super muggy, and so I keep it just in case. This is an OB extension for my main playing cue. I rarely use it, but every once in a while I like to have it just in case. Predator wipes to clean the Spartan carbon fiber shaft, although I don't know if it's necessarily bad for them, but I use, anytime I use one, I always go ahead and hit all my cues at once. This is a marker just in case I need to, you know, have a cue ball signed, or, you know, if anybody wants a cue ball signed. I'm just joking. The Kamui View bridge. I actually have an invention of a bridge that I'll show on the channel sometime, but I like to keep that just in case as well. This, I think the brand is Cento, but this is a tip shaper. It's got really fine, I don't know, kind of like sandpaper, but it's metal, but it's, you know, just what I use to shape my tip for the most part. I also have a Last Forever tool. I like the radius of it. I think it's a dime, and so if I need to really do some actual shaping, I'll use this. But if I'm just trying to rough up the tip, I'll use this. Now, the two types of chalk that I use, majority of the time I use Kamui Roku. I really love that chalk. I have it on my home table as well. But lately, just because of all the hype, of course, I had to try the Taum. So that's what I've been trying out lately. And then both of these holders, this is a little leather wrap that used to be sold by Kamui. I don't think they make them anymore, but I attached a magnet to it. And this is a box that I 3D printed and put these magnets in, as well as a magnet on the bottom. And I'll show you guys why I keep magnets on those here in a little bit. Next, my lips, they get chapped all the flipping time, so some walrus oil, lip balm. This is called the Q Dude. When I was a kid, I saw the Sam Dieppe What's in the Case of Ralph Souque, and he had one of these. What this is, let me see if I can do this. Got this little ledge. It's a cue holder, and you kind of put it over a table like that and splay it out, and then you can have your cues rest against that. I really like it because it's nice and flat, fits in the case nicely. However, I do also use just a regular cue holder, much like the cue claws, but I gave mine to Rodney Morris when he was here because it was a wooden one that I made, and maybe sometime I'll remake a few of those, and I'll show you guys that. Towel, got to support the pocket. Quarters, I hang those on the outside of my bag. And then because I'm a Jam Up ambassador, I like to have the ability to film and take nice pictures. So this is actually a tripod, and it obviously is nice and compact. I like that it's just the size of a butt, so I put it in one of the spare tubes in my case, but it's nice to always have that with me. Next, I wanted to show these guys to you guys. So these are some different iterations of cue claws or cue clamps or whatever you want to call them that I invented, or this one I just modified, other two invented. So let me show you those right now. All right, so I'll do my best to show this to you. This is a little cue holder I made based off of a handmade wooden one that a friend of mine plays with or uses, Harvey Stanley. And basically what it is, it's just a block. It's got some spots for quarters. This is so you can hang it off your bag if you want. But it's got this metal U, I guess, that fits into this hole like this. When you're not using it, the bungee kind of keeps it nice and tucked away. But when you do want to use it, you swing down that arm, put it against your table, and then lock it in like this. And it works pretty well. It's not the best. I think some like rubber on the bottom of this would help quite a bit, but it literally can't go back. And then, yeah, like I said, if it had rubber, it wouldn't move as much. But the great thing about this is it works well on even round tables, as you can see. And it's nice. I really like it. So that was my first ever cue claw invention. Or not invention. I mimicked one that a friend had. Next, and sorry if I'm awkward, I'm trying to do this around the camera, is this. So this is the Joe Porper claw or clamp or something like that, but it had these, I'll try to put a picture on screen, it had these little fingers that I felt like damaged cues. I didn't like it at all, so I took it off and I 3D printed just a regular claw, and that gets screwed to the table like this, and now it's nice and solid, doesn't want to go anywhere, and you just put your cues in there. But like I said, this is a Joe Porper. I didn't want to have to worry about his, so I went ahead and 3D printed one from scratch. This was the first time I ever printed threads. I did some laser etching at work and put some little designs on there, and I added a magnet for like a towel or anything like that. But same thing, it just goes on, you clamp it, perfect for your cues. So I'm very proud of all of those. And now I'll show you one last invention. All right, so we're back to looking at my case. I just wanted to show you a couple things remaining. We have this that I haven't showed you yet. This is my invention. It's just a little puck that I embedded some magnets inside. I 3D printed this whole thing, including the carriage here. And this slides specifically into this case. This is actually specifically why I chose this case, was because I wanted that deep recess in the lid. And now what this does, so I've got the Last Forever tool that used to be my most common. I'll probably switch this up because I have other tools that I use more common than this now, but that goes right in there, and the Velcro keeps that secure. My 2 pieces of chalk, that's what those magnets are for. They stick to that, and now everything is fully secure. So when I go to a tournament, I just have to open my case, and everything I need to get started is right there. My chalk is there, and my cues are right there. I think this is honestly my proudest invention because of the easy use, the simplicity, but really the benefits to having everything located right there. Last thing I wanted to say or show you is that tripod I talked about earlier. I only carry 2 cues, my playing cue, the OB I mentioned, and my jump cue, the one that I use as a break cue. So I've got 2 additional slots in this case because it's a 4x8, and I put a little dowel in there so that my tripod just fits right there. So when I'm doing my Jam Up, you know, pictures or videos, it's all right here in the case. I don't have to worry about bringing anything additional with me. And that's about it for the case. I figured while I'm doing this, I might as well show you the Jam Up jerseys I have as well. Everybody sees my favorite jersey, the Northman jersey that I'm wearing right here, but I also have all of these. So I've been a fan of Jam Up long before I became an ambassador for them. These are two of my oldest currently. I have some more, but they're actually in storage because they're for old teams that I'm not a part of anymore. So these are my two oldest ones that I have with me. These two are Jam Up Club jerseys. I think I've talked about that before in my Ghost Race videos, but every month they have a subscription box. You have the option of choosing their, I think their silver tier is like a t-shirt, their gold tier is a jersey, or their platinum tier is a jersey and a shirt for much lower than what you would buy those things normally. So it's a great deal, and you get a completely unique design that is only available in the club. So that's what those two are. I really like them both. I think this gray one is a very classy looking jersey. Next, I've got 3 of the Jet jerseys. I've said this before, these are definitely one of my favorite Jam Up jerseys. I think they're just very classy, not over the top, and I love all the colors. So those 3 are called the Jet. Then we've got this bad boy. This is the Joy Dragon jersey. I think it looks awesome. I think it's one of the most intimidating jerseys available. And then this is another fully custom jersey I did with a friend of mine, and it has a mountainscape and trees, and I think it's just a really pretty jersey. So that is my current Jam Up jersey collection. The last thing I'll do is I'll just show off a couple of things in here because I get questions all the time. This is a legit slot machine. That was my grandfather's. It does work. I don't have any quarters with me, but it was just handed down to me from my grandfather. This down here is a shadow box I made of a good friend of mine who passed away, Hugh Remington. And that is one of the first Lincoln City teams I ever shot with, and he taught me how to jump. He was just one of my favorite people. I miss him like crazy, so I wanted to point that out. We've got some award stuff, but these are my favorite things, is the pictures and the memories. Of course, the Hustler movie poster over there, fireplace, and then same over here. We've got the Color of Money movie poster. And we've got a cue signed by Efren Reyes. Couple more awards and some autographs on pictures and things. Our World's group of Northmen. So proud of those guys. This is my my personal greatest accomplishment in pool. Second place, 9-ball teams in gold division. That's us holding the check. And then in 2017, I won state. So, and then platinum teams in Lincoln City. That was an awesome one as well. And then the last thing I wanted to show is this over here. This was this is my grandfather. He passed away, but he was a great guy, and he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this is a copy of his approval contract thing. His original. This is a copy of his original contract, and yeah, just pretty cool. I think that is super neat. I've been a lifelong Steelers fan, and that's part of the reason why. I'll show one last thing now that I have the jerseys off the wall. This is a little bar area. How I film my race videos. Another little 3D printed bracket that I made. put a couple of magnets in there, and I've got these little strike plates for the closet. This just snaps right there, and then I press it against the frame. So that's how I make sure it's nice and straight and flush to the wall. But then it just sticks up here, and I can walk under it if I need to and do whatever I need to. So that's the all right, so we're back in our normal view of the pool room. I hope you guys enjoyed this version of what's in my case. If you have any comments or questions or stories about any of the things that I showed you in this video, please leave them in the comments down below. And I don't normally ask this, but it would be awesome if you would be willing to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I would love to make this thing grow. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you in the next video.